Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Pattsun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/NuclearRevenge, where OP screwed over his ex-girlfriend in more ways than one. Let's begin. I feel like my therapist is trying to get me to break up with my partner. Posted by Reddit user SilverFox.
My partner and I have been together for 11 years, married for 5. He is from North America, I am from Europe, and we live in the UK away from friends and family since 2018. We started seeing a couples therapy 5 years ago, who also became mine and his individual therapist. We started therapy to fix some real communication issues and toxic behaviors, and it turned out we each had some serious childhood issues to sort out, so we started going individually as well as together. We have both made real progress over the years. I have definitely become a lot more emotionally mature and he has his life more on track. The toxicity in the relationship has significantly improved, but communication remains quite difficult. It seems as though my therapist strongly feels my partner and I are not compatible. She thinks I alone have kept the show that is this relationship on the road for the past 5 years, while my partner has not contributed enough financially and emotionally. Her reasoning is that I have low self-esteem and that had I had higher self-esteem, I would not have been in this relationship for as long as I did and am doing. She says she is working on building my self-esteem, which is nice, but it feels like the only logical outcome of that work will be to break up with my partner. The thing is, I wanted to go to couples counseling in the first place because I really wanted to save this relationship. I don't know whether to trust her and break up, or whether she is the problem and I shouldn't listen and find another therapist. Every time I talk to her, I think I would do the right thing by ending the relationship. But a day or two after therapy, I think I should stay and fix our issues, and that I am actually the real issue. My partner tells me that he doesn't like seeing her as his therapist anymore either, because she often interrupts him while he speaks and she talks a lot. And because he does not share our therapist's view of relationships, one in which both people need to fulfill their potential outside of the relationship. He can also be angry towards her, not during the session but after, in conversation with me, which together with the fact that she does interrupt him quite often and does a lot of the speaking, makes me think she may not be very good at her job. There have also been little red flags on her end. For example, she talks quite openly about her own children and their relationships.
Red flag!
She has called me out of the blue to ask me to run an errand for her when she couldn't leave her house, and has invited my husband and me over to watch a Zoom lecture on a Saturday morning.
Is that also a red flag?
Crimson.
I don't know whom to trust. She is highly trained and has almost 40 years of experience. But I also heard a couples therapist being also a couples individual therapist is not a good idea, which together with the little red flags above, makes me think perhaps she is wrong and I would make a mistake listening to an idiosyncratic old lady and end the relationship and I will regret it. I hope I am being clear and fair in my portrayal of the situation. Is it likely that my therapist is wrong and I should find a new therapist? TLDR, I feel like my therapist is trying to get me to break up with my partner and I am afraid of making a mistake. Edit, thank you for the responses. This was eye-opening. It confirmed a hunch, but I had no idea the response would be so unanimous. I will be discussing this with my husband tonight and ending the therapy with her as soon as we can and finding new therapists. Plural. Thank you all.
That is completely unprofessional, OP. Plus, I thought couples therapists were not supposed to treat the same patients individually. Look man, half the shit this therapist is doing are things therapists should never do. She's definitely personally involved. Her being trained just means that in her tiny mind, she's good enough to break those rules and continue therapy while giving her personal take on the matter, which is a definite no-no for any therapist. I'm glad you're getting new ones. And now for today's second story. She cheated on me, so I had a threesome with her ex-boyfriend and the guy she cheated on me with. Posted by Reddit user Pure Pepper.
To clear up any confusion that might come up, you have to know that I am a bisexual man. I love sharing this story because I'm still proud of it. A few years ago, my ex-girlfriend cheated on me with another guy. She then had the audacity to tell me that if I was a grown-up that I could deal with it, and that she hopes we can still be friends, but she lost any feelings for me and is fully in love with this new guy now. If she hadn't said that, I probably wouldn't have made this plan. But now I had to teach her a valuable lesson. I was in a depressed state for a long time and couldn't bring myself to delete her number, and she thought I was her friend now. She started to send me pictures of her and her new boyfriend with laughing emojis. She didn't even care about how much she had hurt me. And then one day while I went through Tinder, I found someone who was quite familiar, her new boyfriend. Of course, I wouldn't tell her that her new boyfriend is on Tinder. In fact, I matched with him, which was quite surprising because I thought he was straight and we started a conversation. He didn't know who I was. She never told him she was in a relationship while she was flirting with him, but this was perfect. We had longer conversations and he told me more and more about him. Over the weeks we learned more and more about each other and now I had a plan. I suggested that we could meet each other at a bar. He agreed. Keep in mind he was still in a relationship with my ex-girlfriend at that time. When we met we had a great time, and one date became many dates. It took me few months, but then I got him to the point where he developed feelings for me and I was his affair. What he didn't know is I got in contact with my girlfriend's former ex-boyfriend as well. He broke up with her because he came out as gay. I was in contact with both guys. The ex-boyfriend and I got along very well. In fact, I made him a close friend of mine. In our conversations with my new boyfriend, we talked about sexual desires and he told that he always wanted to have a threesome. So I suggested one with the gay ex-boyfriend. I knew that he was his type because we kinda look alike and he had feelings for me, so I asked the gay ex-boyfriend if he wanted to become the third one, and to my surprise he said yes. I'm honestly still surprised how all of that worked out without her noticing. But it did, and then the day came where I decided to go nuclear. The two guys came to my apartment. I lead them to the bedroom and they started talking to each other. While they talked, I took a selfie from a safe distance, close enough that she could see their faces but far enough that they wouldn't notice. Then the action started. Of course I won't go into any detail, but damn, I enjoyed it more than anything in the world. A few days after this I told him that now that I granted him the wish of a threesome, I wanted something in return. I told him that I don't want to be in an affair any longer and told him that he should either break up with her or I will break up with him. I knew it was hardcore manipulative, but I had a plan and I had the full control over him. He actually broke up with her and threw her out. I even got him to move out of his apartment to move in with me, meaning that she lost both her home and her boyfriend. But I wasn't done yet, because after that she texted me with crying emojis that her boyfriend dumped her and that she regrets leaving me. I then said, "Your boyfriend? Are you talking about this guy?" And I sent her the selfie I took. She called and texted me several times, but I ignored her. My plan was almost successful. There were only 3 things left that I still had to do. The first was that I told her mother, who hates infidelity more than anything because her father cheated on her mother with another woman. You could say, like father, like daughter. Her mother was angry but thanked me for telling her. From what I've heard is that her mother cut ties with her, but I admit that I don't know if that actually happened. And I don't think that it happened. But it would be funny if it was true. The second thing I did was dumping him because unfortunately for him he was a cheater too and I hate infidelity as well. The last thing I did was going out with the gay ex-boyfriend. And after a few dates we got together and we are still a couple. In the end I destroyed both her and the guy she cheated on me with and couldn't be more proud of myself. Edit. Okay, for some reason I still get too many messages. No the fuck, I will not tell you details about the threesome, you horny motherfuckers, so stop asking.
Do I believe this story? Yeah, some parts of it. Is it possible? Yes. Do I want it to be real? Yes, I absolutely do. OP, you did not let her get away with this one, man. You quite literally fucked her past and present, and then metaphorically fucked her future by telling her mother. Well done, OP. A story truly worthy of nuclear revenge. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.